I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats at the Female Eye Film Festival in downtown Toronto. I am here with filmmaker Lulu Keating. How does it feel to have your feature film Lucille's Ball here at the Female Eye Film Festival?
It's really exciting. It's very exciting. I had been to the festival before in 2010 with 2 short films and a script that was read, and it's the only. There are 3 festivals in Canada that are women's festivals, and it's so important and so critical that women who are underrepresented in film get a chance to show their work and meet each other and cook ideas together and all of that. So it's a great festival. It's great to be.
I thought you were going to say cook together. I was like, no.
No, decidedly not.
Yeah.
Yeah, cooking is a real threat to being a ruthless career woman, don't you think?
Yes, absolutely, I do. And tell me a little bit about Lucille's Ball. Where was the inspiration behind this, sort of racy coming of age story?
Well, it started off being, it was the era when I grew up and came of age sexually, was the 70s. So I had originally thought of trying to tell the story of, that whole scene, my friends together and how we lived. But then it changed over time and the story has evolved into, I guess, it's somewhat like I have a son who used to make fun of hippies, and I never considered myself a hippie, but I sure as hell lived like a hippie and, smoked dope like a hippie and had a lot of lovers like a hippie. So I think I wanted to put a face on that whole world. But it's also, the whole era was about breaking down boundaries and businessmen throwing off their ties and throwing away their briefcases and going on road trips, and women just breaking out of the mold that the 50s post-war era had set up for nice little wives and homes raising children. So what also is in the film is just the invention of a whole society that breaks the rules and that finds different ways to create family and community.
Right. And how do you think that we are finding new ways to create family and community today?
It's interesting because it's almost like there are several groups, but there are people who aspire to marry and conventionally stay at home with children and recognize, the sacred value of the filmmaking profession. But there's also people who are rebelling against that and who are looking at alternatives. So I think it's these days it's really, really positive to see people bicycling to work and eating properly and trying the 100-mile diet type of thing and recycling and all those things that are sensible citizenship type of things. And for a while it felt like we got away from that in the 80s and the 90s, and now it feels very more wholesome.
And how are you hoping audiences to respond to the film?
I think it's somewhat whimsical, so I'm hoping that they will, first of all, enjoy it, and there's a lot of humor in it so that they'll find it a blast. I hope, too, it helps shake out that mold of thinking of families as single-parent units in little houses with, being solely responsible for everything to do with those children that they're raising. Because, like with this film, Lucille's boyfriend is not around. They've broken up when she gets... No, wait, now, how did it work? He was out of town when she got pregnant. That's what happened. So she ends up having a baby by another man. And yet they end up being the parents, her and her boyfriend. So it's a bit of a twist on conventional society.
And tell me a little bit about your feature film, ACTRA's Vision, which you're having a reading of on the weekend.
Right, it's on Saturday, and basically ACTRA's Vision is a magic realism story about a small community on the eastern coast of Canada that's dying, and the plot to resurrect the community is to declare ACTRA a saint and have pilgrims come to worship her and make it a tourist town, basically. So it's a real funny romp. It's the first act is being read by actors on Sunday in the afternoon at the same place across the street where we're having the readings, which is called Youngscape.
180 Shaw Street?
Yes.
Yeah.
180 Shaw Street. Perfect.
Great. And who is Astrid? Is she a young girl or?
Well, she starts off as an old lady, and during the film, she progressively gets younger and younger until she becomes a young woman again. She ends up at the age of that she was when her son died in a boating accident. So it's magic realism. Lots of weird stuff happens.
And where's the best place for us to find out more information on you and your projects online?
I have a website, www.redsnapperfilms.ca. So that's my company, Red Snapper Films. That's the best place.
Great. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations on both your projects.
Oh, well, thanks very much for having me, Katie.
Thank you. I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats at the Female Eye Film Festival in downtown Toronto.